Hey guys, this is Mandy from Rose Gold Careers, and today's video is on the topic of networking. One of my clients recently asked me, "Oh, hey, do you have some general networking advice?" And honestly, for the life of me, I know that this is a career consulting company, but I had such a hard time coming up with advice because I hate networking, and I think that I'm bad at it. Because networking implies that you are networking implies something transactional, right? Like, okay, I'm going to connect with you and you're going to connect with me and we are going to exchange something, And I've just never been a fan of that kind of relationship because I feel like first it's fake. It takes a ton of effort. And what's the point? Because oftentimes when you're networking, like when you're even have that brain to be like, now I am networking, you you're going into the relationship wanting something. And I just don't think that that is how, I mean, at least me, like I don't like going into a new relationship with like an agenda, with like a this is what I want, you know? I want to go into a relationship like wanting to learn something, wanting to grow, wanting to be challenged, wanting to have a conversation, you know? And I've been to so many of these events, like so many of these painful events. And, you're in a big room and your job is like to go network. And I mean, I just was always terrible at it because I always did better. I prefer one on one interaction where you can actually have a conversation with someone. And I mean, on a daily basis too, like I find myself buying into it, right? Where it's like, oh, I have this many thousands of LinkedIn connections, and like, what will happen when I get to like 10,000 LinkedIn connections? Like, well, what will happen? I don't know. Will I like explode? Will I get like some kind of platinum LinkedIn card and be able to like tattoo it on my arm? Like, what is the point? And I think I don't know. I'm really it's so funny because even in my own business, I have this like divide between, you know, I do the one-on-one consulting, and that's really what I love. I mean, that's really what, you know, I feel like that's where I'm really helping people one-on-one to be like, okay, let's talk about your issues. Let's talk about your challenges, and maybe I can provide some positive, objective ideas or thoughts and let you see something in a different way and actually help you move forward, you know? And at the same time, and this is all of my like startup training and business school training, I'm constantly being like, how do I scale this business? And I don't have the answer, but I do know that I feel like the answer is not to like just be like a hungry social media person and be like, I now have 10,000 followers. I don't even know what that means. Like, what does 10,000 followers mean? I have no idea. Um, okay, instead of giving the advice of like, okay, here's how you network, right? What I can say is that I believe in a different way. I have never gotten positive results or like the result that I wanted through a quote unquote like tenuous connection. Like I met you once, or maybe we worked together a couple years ago and you sort of know me and I sort of know you, but that's not like real support. I so much prefer to have a circle of people that I trust and that I love and that know me and see me for who I am and what I'm capable of, and also all of the shit things that I'm capable of, like all of my weaknesses, all of my like, bad temper and like, you know, lack of patience. Like I want people who see me fully, and I want to work with those people. is really what it is. And so this idea that somehow you're going to have this like spiderous, all encompassing network that you just like zap, like pick up the phone and this person's going to do something for you. I don't know. Maybe it works like that, but I mean, maybe it works like that when you get like super famous or something, but it doesn't work like that in real life. Like even people that I've gone to business school with, where that is the whole point, is like to develop this network, right? Like I don't feel I don't feel comfortable asking for things unless I know that you can ask me for something too, and I will happily do it because I like you, right? So I guess the advice is like get away from this transactional mindset where you feel like we have to get something from each other, and instead like make real connection, you know take the time to actually have a conversation, go to a coffee, um, ask them how their day is, how their kids are, how their life is, like outside of the job, outside of, okay, so let me tell you about this startup idea, or like, okay, let me tell you about this business that I'm pitching, you know? Um, that's kind of the way that I want to live. And so I guess in practical terms, like let's say you do have a networking opportunity, the thing I would say is like let them see the real you, all of the good things, how intelligent you are, how down to earth, how hungry you are, how inquisitive, creative, all of these things. But then also let them see some of the like gray area, some of the like question mark, like, yeah, I've done this, but like I'm not sure that this is exactly the right way. I'd love your thoughts, Like isn't it so annoying when you go into a meeting with someone and that person is so put together and it's like a wall that you cannot penetrate, You try to like crack a joke or you try to be like um make some like self-deprecating humor and they just are like I keep thinking of this one guy, and I'm not going to name names, but like I went to a networking breakfast with him where he was thinking of working with us and like paying us money to be part of this like partnership thing. Okay, I'm not going to go into details. But I went into this meeting and the guy ordered like a single egg for breakfast. And I remember just being like, oh geez, because like I fully intend on having like the English muffin with 2 eggs and smoked salmon and hollandaise sauce and potatoes and coffee and orange juice and then maybe also a croissant. So like, I don't know. I just maybe I'm just being judgmental. This is not like the best example, but to say like, you know, that single egg was like the total reflection of like how he was in this conversation, which was like totally buttoned up. Everything was perfect. Everything was great. They were on track. They were, exceeding milestones, exceeding goals. And like, I just left the meeting being like, well, that was boring. Like, I don't feel like I've made a friend. I don't feel like we've connected on any kind of emotional level. And so, long story short, I do feel like, instead of being like, I need to network with this person, why don't you think about it as like, I want to connect with this person? And part of connection is sharing, is being vulnerable, and is being open, and is being fun, and kind of having a sense of humor about the stupidity of networking. So, that's my approach. And I think, it would even apply to a super high pressure environment, like if you were in business school or if you were just very seriously looking for a job. I even believe that in these kinds of scenarios, like you really just have to be yourself because, there's no faking it and like trying to be this like perfect person. People remember stories and stories have flaws. So that is, that's kind of where my mind is at now. Thanks for watching and have a great week or day. Bye.